Oh, sorry about that, folks that dropped off for some unknown reason. Not real sure. Remember, we are using quite sophisticated technology. That's it. It's a dot in between the E and the A.
Oh, I get it.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. ustre.am/capital N, little H, little U, capital D. There's the URL for this. Right, we dropped out there. Seems like the 4G coverage over here in Berkeley is not the greatest. Even in San Francisco. You know the pianist that was in Taksim Square in Istanbul.
And take a side.
That was pretty cool. They had a piano and it was playing during the tear gas.
I didn't hear you.
When they had a pianist in Taksim Square in Istanbul. No, in Istanbul, Turkey.
Yeah.
Right. He was brought a grand piano out and was playing during the riots. The police were beating people up, and he was playing the piano in the midst of all the tear gas and everything. Right. And he became a symbol of resistance against the Turkish government. Right. And that's what that kind of reminded me of there.
Not quite.
Not quite
the same kind of
No, not quite the same kind. Yeah, but
there were people going to get killed out here.
Yeah, well, this
would be terrible if they got rid of this building.
Yeah, I know. We haven't gotten to that point.
So I'm surprised the Berkeley City Council doesn't just say no way.
Right. Well, they had a couple of people speaking about it today.
So I got on there, but this is what popped up.
Oh, weird. Somehow you're not getting the right URL.
Save the post office.
Thank you.
Why don't you hold my camera and I'll
Sure. Okay, thanks.
an undying love for the people before on the very front line. And to die in the arms of his country.
Oh, great! Cool. Too cool.
Yeah. Show him what it looks like. He's not playing, of course. I think we're only getting censored in China right now.
We're getting censored in China.
But that's pretty much the only country we're around the world. You have a really, I have to say that your phone models, your screen is
Also,
better than mine.
Iran. It's really hard to get stuff into Iran. They're trying to build their own intranet. That's only Iranian. So yeah, China and Iran are the two hardest places to get stuff.
Well, in Iran I can understand
Yeah, Iran.
because they were under attack
Yeah, you can't even get a tweet in there.
and they wanted to shut down all the protest movements there as well. Thanks for playing. I know our viewers liked it.
So you got to see himself on there.
Yeah.
Had a beautiful day. The sun finally came out here. It's warming up.
It's finally
Come down. If you're in Berkeley, come down and join us. We're down here at the main post office.
playing in the sun.
Yeah. Got wonderful entertainment.
Like a little bite to eat.
Yeah, we got Welch from our BNS girl. They shot
I'm
just not really good on people's names.
soulless, soulless. What that we must do. March on in the workers united.
On this one, the police are not going to be routing us.
Just because she's you, she doesn't want a pistol to her head. She wants those
Slice of pizza over here. I'll give you a readout on the press report for those of you who are watching. Come down and join us if you're in Berkeley, though. We're starting an occupation here of the Central Post Office here. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to bump the bicycle. Sorry about that.
I've been picking it all
The live stream looks really good. We were checking it out, and the live stream looks really good. Nice and clear. So we're good. We're doing good.
he just walks on. What church are you from? And I says, I'm the high priest of the Church of Penises and Pussies.
I went to that church once.
You did?
Yeah, the Church of St. Caiaphas. It was in San Francisco back in the 80s, and he had the largest collection of phallic. They were devoted to phallic worship.
No.
And I was the altar there a few times.
Wow.
So is it cheese pizza?
A little slice of pizza here, folks.
I'm gonna get mine.
And Mike?
Yes, sir.
Glad you guys are watching. And supporting us down here. We're in downtown Berkeley, on Allston Way, 2 blocks from Berkeley Bar. Oh, that's okay, thanks. Live streaming is a little different than traditional media because our broadcasts go on for so long.
System of justice as any old fool can see. The police have on the corner, itching to bust, while the real criminals go free. Where you can steal a local friend at the market, they hunt you down like a dog will die. Meanwhile, the big boss shut down his factory and leave his workers on the street. Leave the working still, no lifeline inside. A ticket to the county jail. But if you steal a couple of trillion, well, you can buy the Titanic. Sail into the sunset. Why don't you jump on your boat, pal, and sail away?
How's everybody doing out there? Anybody on the chat here? Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Hey, I think people are going to use the Berkeley post office. Okay, Berkeley PO. We can check that out. I'll add that to my when I tweet out here again. I'll make sure I'm giving you a hashtag and I put that up as well.
Who are the terrorists in this world? Tell me who are the terrorists in this world, the big one. Drones in Pakistan, bombs in Iraq, 1 million sweet children won't be coming back. All the terrorists in this world. I want to know who I want to know their names. I I wanna see their faces too. Every day the police start to get a terror attack. I'ma do just 41 bullets in his back. Tell me who are the terrorists in this?
I just sent out one with the Berkeley PO hashtag. There you go. In order for me to reset the hashtag, I had to shut down the stream. So because I have definite food insecurities.
Over Palestine, merchants and their partners in crime.
Yeah, it looks like it. This could develop into a whole national thing, you know.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki,
That's the hope, anyway.
in Belgrade. The targets, innocence in the grave. Tell me who committed these crimes. Who gonna serve some hard time? Tell me who are the terrorists in this world?
Well, I got some sunshine out here. Beautiful Berkeley downtown. David Welch here on the piano. Yeah, one of my favorite things to watch is to go around the world and watch protests. Right? I'm kind of addicted to it.
Somebody, sweet darling, died today. A burst of red way up in the sky. No one can tell you exactly why. Ooh, but somebody sweet, little darling.
I'm getting much better bandwidth now too than I was getting earlier. There's less users down here. Yeah, one of our drawbacks is that there's a lot of people there using the same network, but you can't get any signal out, right?
All the family gather round.
Yeah, they were noticing that at the World Series last year during the Giants games, that you couldn't get out of their network. AT&T handles the network for that game, and everybody was. That's one of the big selling points now when you go to a baseball game, because then you can get stats online and of the players and stuff as you're watching the game, right? You know, because baseball's nice and slow for that. You got plenty of time to check out stats, whereas like football or basketball, you don't really have a lot of time to check out stats. Not when you're watching the game, right?
Push the button on the wall. Want the simplest boat to go to war. What's going on? We've seen it all before. Oh.
Yeah, I'll be kind of sad to see Candlestick Park go. I'm going to be sad when they tear down the stick. Candlestick Park in San Francisco. Beatles played there, dude. That was the place where the Beatles played. That was their last live appearance they made. They had that Candlestick.
On strike at the factory.
Yeah, Jay-Z out there last night. Jay-Z and
soldiers joined the
another big star.
Joined the mutinies in Vietnam.
Got our great postal workers.
machine of war. We can stop the war. We've done it all before. Somebody's daughter is born.
My uncle actually was a postmaster of Riverside, California.
Somebody's sweet daughter is born today.
He was a pilot during the World War II.
A burst of new life.
Got shot down in Saudi Arabia.
A
Broke
baby's
his back.
first big breath. A baby's first
They
big
had to carry him out of the Saudi desert, right, with a broken back. So he survived. His was his lower back, but he was able to get back on his feet again. He went on to become a postmaster. So a little bit of U.S. Post Office history. A lot of veterans that were returning from World War II and the Korean War also became postmaster and worked for the post office.
And Welsh.
All right. My phone's humming.
Carrot, salad, salmon.
Oh. Ooh.
So what's up with
Salmon.
yeah, one of the salads got salmon.
I try to stay away from the salmon. Well, if it's wild. Oh yeah, well. They've had their beat on us for the whole time, dude. Trust me, dude.
Hey, bud, you got something? Good.
It'd be a crappy police department if they weren't watching us.
It's gorgeous.
I got a picture of one guy who works for the Berkeley Police Department. I could probably, if we were online, I'd show you. He was carrying it looked like a tear gas launcher, but it looked like one of those things that launches grenades, right? He was scary looking. He was a Hispanic dude. I even know his name, and he's been busted before for assault, you know, and they've sustained judgments against him, monetary judgments, right? 'Cause you can't prosecute a police officer, but you can get a monetary judgment. Sue and Bart. Yeah, because he got murdered, you know, and the guy was convicted for it. So, you know, somebody's going to be culpable. You know, I mean, you can never put a dollar value on somebody's life, but his children, you know, should be entitled to some kind of payout. You know, because they lost their dad, and you know, how do you expect them to pay if they want to go to college or something? You know?
Parts of
Yeah, well, he's protected under that
It's
statute.
been years
Johan Messerly.
now since I left there
that's the same thing that kept me from
in this life. Years now since I left there in this city life.
Well, Berger, that's 10 to $20 million, I think. 10 to 20 mil.
I can't remember why I left so free. What I wanted to do, what I wanted to be. But I can sure remember.
Right. You have to follow it out. You can't just settle before court.
Thank you.
This good G, oh my.
It's always the anarchists out here. We support the infrastructure a lot of times, but we're the ones out here supporting it for the most part. You know, the workers should realize that we're one of the main people that are on their side when shit hits the fan.
In the dead of night, in the still and the quiet.
You know, you might think of us anarchists as being wild-eyed radicals, you know, but we support common sense things that for society, you know, we try to keep people in their homes. We try to make sure everybody's fed. We want to make sure that people get their mail. We want to make sure there's free internet communication, right? So you can't go knocking us for wanting to have supporting all these things in our tactics. You know, you can say what you want about us politically. We support the infrastructure of the United States. We support the freedom of the commons. and all the property that people that own here, that you the people own, is post office. Right? This is owned by some obscure corporate holding company, some real estate firm. This is public property. And the public property that they're trying to take away from us as citizens here of this, not only the city of Berkeley, but also the cities of California and the United States of America. So it's important to you, the viewer, and other people. Please spread the word about what's going on with the continued privatization of the post office. I think it might have been a propaganda out there. My bully pulpit. I think that's a trick of really doing a good live stream, is being able to get accurate commentary.
I can see it so clear in my mind.
Alright. I'm going to stick around here on the people live streaming until it gets dark. Now I know where the bathroom's at.
I can almost
I know where the bathroom's at down the street here. I got amazing powers in that regard.
Dead of the night in the still and the quiet, I slip like a back to those hills.
So how late does this building actually stay open? Okay, the lobby stays open until 6. Well, I'm just looking at the hours here. The window's closed at 3, but the lobby stays open until 6. On Saturday, that's kind of cool.
That's because people are at the mailboxes.
Yeah, the post office boxes. Yeah, let me bum a cigarette before you take off. If you don't mind.
The promise of opportunity. They give you a drug called the dream. The fine words of politicians are not what they seem. They promise us equality. We need it and we want it.
The picture looks really nice too. I was able to check the quality of the street. It looks really good. It's very clear.
Yeah, he's all right.
You see him, he's
Well,
like,
you might ask why I say,
well, I can make that
does it
happen.
have to be this way? Can there
You got to
be
show it to him.
a better day? But in the meantime,
That's what I'm hoping to do Monday, so I can impress people to show them what we can do now, you know.
keep getting deeper. And here's the game, keep trying to tell me
We can get the contract for it. Or
no
grant money.
ticket, nowhere near.
If I had grant money, dude, you know what I would be doing right now? I have this huge social network set up. Right?
I can see the game is rigged. They know the outcome in advance. They made their selection, and we don't have to
Because if I had a few CPUs to work with, then I can handle theoretically up to 100 streams
woven
at a
into
time.
the fabric of the rich man's world we inhabit. That's why there have to be a bit of a
On a backbone, I can swing a backbone.
It's built right into the system. They got so many scams you can list them.
Well, I'm impatient. I worked really hard at my coding, and I realized that I was starting to come to an end of that cycle, right? Of coding.
These are mean times.
I know this gentleman right here. He's
We keep getting
Long time radical.
deeper. And here's the gatekeeper trying to tell me no pass. No
one thing I've discovered with Occupy is that we've really become an instrument of change within society, and that a lot of people are really sold on that concept.
no money.
You know, that we're not, like, no matter what we do as accomplishment, that we still manage to create some kind of positive change in what we're doing. Even we weren't able to put any banksters in jail, we were still able to raise public awareness about what the hell is going on with banksters. Well, you were talking about your brother, was it, that was having problems? Yeah, we've got a lot of people out there in America that are having difficulties with mortgage holding companies because their mortgages are being resold, And they're actually divided up and sold as derivatives, which is what the whole derivatives market was all about. You know, and that's a big scam. That's one of the biggest scams. And what is happening with the derivative market? It's like something like $27 trillion now, right? And
I get so blue.
and it's not insured like your stock, like a lot
I
of things
feel
are.
so lonely.
So when you take a big hit,
I'd give the
the
world
economy will take a really
if
huge
I
hit,
do it only.
right? And we're talking about stuff that can be even bigger than the failure of Bank of America and Citicorp, like even bigger than that, right?
Would be
So
great.
what's happening now with these capitalists is they're gambling so much on our system now, and they're coming up with all these exotic, like financial investments that are actually making destabilizing the economy. Oh yeah,
When she's gone, I worry
I know all these people
all
down
the time. Well,
I'm happy.
baby, won't you please come home?
Take off all like that.
You left your poor daddy all alone. Oh, many times I've tried in vain, nevermore to recall your name. Well, since you left, you know you broke your daddy's heart. You know that happens every time you're apart. With every hour of the day, you can hear me say, baby, won't you please come home back to the front door? Baby, won't you please come home? Your daddy needs you. Baby, won't you please come home?
It's got a mic stand. Funny, huh? All right, thank you, David Welch.
So my place, just push the bottom button to get in.
Are you gonna stay at home?
For a little while.
All right, well I'm gonna stay down here until at least the sun goes down. That'll be for another 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, another 2, 3
So if you decide you want to come back, hey, if you're not coming back, leave me a couple more cigarettes.
We're just having a party here. It's a holiday.
Actually, I got more time than I thought. It's
Okay.
not digesting, super fast. It's just going in fast.
All right, that's all good. I'm gonna go walk up here and smoke a cigarette.
Which way? This way or
Yeah,
that
just walk up here.
Okay.
People on the live streams tend to stay on much longer than people that are watching regular television programs, I've noticed. And the audiences are a lot more loyal, and we've been able to attract a lot more followers, people that are anarchists and people that are believe in anti-authoritarian stuff.
Well,
And
yeah, I mean, like I didn't know shit from Shinola, but Ben Maisel did the first live stream I ever saw of the Wisconsin State House takeover.
right, they've got an occupation going on in Washington, Wisconsin right now. I've only heard sporadic tweets from it because nobody's live streaming it at the current time, right? All right, this is the kind of like the line of smoking right here. Yeah, we're going to take you down here. This is what we're out here defending. The postal police. Yeah, he was watching a little bit earlier. Kind of running Wolf was kind of taunting him. I didn't think that was a good idea.
Is that thing on still?
Yeah, I'll turn off the
we're gonna back up. And this is the mail arriving.
Yeah, this is what goes on here at the post office. These trucks are all owned by you, the taxpayer. They're not owned by private corporations, that police car. Everything we own as the people here, for people that are watching, right? This is already our property. I'm not really into property, but this is a beautiful building and it needs to be saved and preserved.
It's a beautiful building.
And it's
look at that, even the far end, with the, what should be the ugly part is good looking.
Yeah, we'll take a walk around and show people what the building looks like.
It's a great facility. Like the overhang of the bottom, how beautifully it's painted.
Right, I was checking that out.
No, this building wasn't just thrown up. It was actually thought about.
How's it going? It's nice and quiet down here too.
Yeah.
My neighborhood is so fucking loud now. Oh, I can barely stand it, dude. I got the fucking volume on the laptops. Everything's turned up all the way now. You know, even when I go to bed, I leave everything cranked because you got to have that.
Sleep through the bullshit.
Yeah.
I know.
And it affects my dreams. Like I had that dream last night of oh, it was awful. For those of you who are watching, I had a horrible dream where somebody was executed for ugh. So you're going to, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for joining me on the live stream. Appreciate it very much. And I'll stop by before I leave.
I gotta get in a position that's comfortable for my body.
You need a chair, dude.
Yeah.
There's that. Let's go back down the other side.
No.
Okay.
I'm not going back into it.
All right.
I just need to stand.
You want to trade places?
Well,
There you go.
this is,
That's fine. It's all good. I'm almost free of this thing, folks. I feel so good about that. Basically, the chair now is my little support network when I'm going out to live streams, but I'm going to drop that pretty soon too, because we're getting healthy. So.
the other thing. Very much talk about tearing down the American flag. Why? At this point, represents what we own it.
Right. Why would we want to destroy something that we already own? You know. It's,
All right. You guys don't get it. It's like people that go into a spot and trash it. It's like, dude, we're going to live here. Why are you trashing the place we're going to live?
it's a big issue. And it's property fetishism in an opposite manner, I think, that it takes it to another extreme.
Right.
You know, because I don't, one way or the other. Personally, I don't really care about personal ownership so much as I care about, it's a lot harder to build things.
And to destroy them. And if they're squatting with us, look, you need the toilet because you want to shit down it, you dumbass. If you break it, then you have to carry a bucket somewhere.
Right.
Fucking leave the toilet alone and poop in it. Sit right for whatever's meant for you.
Yeah, that's a big problem in my building was people not respecting the infrastructure of the building, right? Because a lot of people were being transitioned off of living on the street into being indoors and actually having a place to live, right? And so a lot of them didn't even know how to deal with living indoors and acclimating themselves. We've had problems with a few people in terms of getting them off the street to actually get them to trust living in a place with other people. You don't know how hard that is to socialize people sometimes.
Oh, I know, man. I lived feral as a kid. It was hard for me at first.
And maintaining that respect for the public comments, right?
Yeah.
And just
public comments, even my own place, like I noticed, like I'm just sloppy, I'm just messy, whatever.
Yeah, but that's different. You're not going around breaking equipment and right, or pooping on the floor, or
when the kids go to the toilet, I have to replace it.
Yeah, right. So for people that are unclear about the property concept versus anarchism, is that we're we're not like trying to say we want to own something, but we want to preserve it and make sure that other people can use it as well. And we're totally into the sharing concept, right? Which means that other people have to use it, so you have to take care of things for other people,
like
for future generations.
You don't steal library books.
Right. And also it goes to extend to the national park land and nature and the wilds. right? And all these places that should be preserved,
Post offices and libraries.
right? Because there's got to be something left for the next generations.
No, yeah, we all had to go to school somewhere. And yeah, it is a prison of measured time, but fuck, man.
You still have to go somewhere. I appreciate the buildings at City College because then I have a good place to go lecture people, and I appreciate having a room to actually. It took me like 2 months before I was able to even get a room at City College to even lecture in. And I had to actually start working connections with people, and then one nice lady, was able to secure me a room.
Well, and also now they're trying to take its accreditation, so their enrollment's down 13%. That's why space is available right now.
So we're out there. We're going to be out supporting City College once again, and I will be lecturing out there this fall, folks. So do stay acclimated to my calendar. That's activiststream.com, and I'll let you know when my lectures start. And these are courses that you can audit. They're not going to be for credit. You don't have to pay money. They're free, and we'll be teaching you valuable skills in networking technology and live streaming, and shows you how to set up your own live stream. And the class is popular enough, I'll even start showing people how to set up virtual private network. So, and it's nice to have that facility to do that in. Right? You might not agree with everybody that's out there at City College that's teaching, but it's nice to have a facility to be able to teach in.
Right, and it's, no, I don't mind if there's diversity. I don't want diversity. Sure, tell me about what the right wing believes in this week.
Just a second here, folks. So yeah, we're back again. Sorry about that little drop out, but since we're here for the hours, and people are a lot more patient with these than they are with like mainstream media. Yeah, which I really enjoy that. Thanks for being patient with the people. I'm here for lots and lots of hours, and I'm pretty much for a 1 or 2 man operation most of the time, and so I'm limited within this physical body that I have, folks. So you got to get out there, and you should be live streaming at places where you're at, and come out to your people wherever you're living at, and also support the cause, and let other people know about what's going on, because for a lot of people, actually reaching people with information has been harder than what would seem. Like if you ask the average person on the street who Bradley Manning is, how many people would know who Bradley Manning is, right? Think about it.
I have no idea. I know that.
Let's see if the sound. Yeah, I'm sorry about the sound, Led. You reminded me about that. We just missed out on that whole conversation. Yeah, that's okay. We had a little chat here. It's been interesting. What's your name?
Oh, sorry. Charlie?
Charlie, my name's Clark.
Clark?
Yeah, Clark. Right?
Pleasure. This is my wife, Stephanie.
Ah, great. You've been living in Berkeley a long time.
Yeah, about 20 years.
All right.
Different locations, about 8 years, just over on the
I've been living in San Francisco for 32 years, I think.
Oh, okay.
So, one-time Bay Area resident. I used to live over here for a little while on San Pablo. We rented out 2 stories of a building. It was kind of like an office thing. Like in between, but it wasn't really and it had showers, and so we did kitchen, so we set it up like our living space for programming and stuff.
Are you going to camp?
What's that?
Are you going to camp?
I almost out here until about 9 or 10. And I'll be out here again tomorrow. I have my responsibilities in the city.
Sure.
I gotta get back home.
But this is great. I hope this is able to last into.
Well, we have the support of the Berkeley city government. I said the Berkeley City Council supports us really out here.
Oh, okay,
right?
good.
And the feds don't have enough police to kick us off. So, right, we're good for tonight, at least, right, and possibly in the next week. Right, and this whole issue could really, about the post office, could actually mushroom into a nationwide movement, depending on the movement of this bill that's going on in the House of Representatives with Darrell Issa. And there's like 2 competing bills, and one is like totally going to try and privatize the post office.
2 words for you. Little Mermaid.
When I think about that,
everybody just knew. Everybody knew exactly what he was talking about.
10 years ago,
and then
a friend of
eventually
mine
he found the
over
guy
in Germany
who got the message from his mom, and he tells him the whole story about it.
Living here, and his visa expired. He went back, and he came back to visit about 2 years later, and he had gotten a job working. And I know it was just his city or all of Germany, but the post office was private.
Is when they play it,
and he got a job working for them. And he told a story. One day he was just in like one of the side office rooms, and all these bags of mail. He noticed that he's been sitting there. So he went over and checked. They were all like social security checks. The poorest neighborhood. Nobody who worked there wanted to deliver them. So they had just left them there. And so he came on his own time. He said he dragged them there. Gave people like, oh my God, we thought they were lost. They were supposed to have been delivered months ago. And he just left them sitting there. So, I just kept that memory in my head. It's like, well, that's not here. That's sorry, that's happening for them. That's absolutely shitty. And all of a sudden, it's talking about privatizing it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, now you understand what's going on here. And the post office is generally has a very, pretty good delivery. They don't really lose a whole lot of stuff.
And they don't show biases like that. Even if it's a private company, it's like, we don't care. We don't want to go into like a rough neighborhood and deliver it. I'm being paid to do this. You can, they're supposed to do that, but you can probably get away with it a lot easier.
Well, corporations definitely have to be taken be made more publicly accountable. And it's like the cost of doing business. It's like a lot of companies, a lot of people are making a lot of money off BART, right? Like wherever BART has a station now, and this is, here in Berkeley, I could point out a few buildings, not on this street, but on another street over where there's been a lot of condos have been built, right, as a result of its proximity to the BART station, right? In the same way in San Francisco, that all the property that's around the BART station, like within I guess about a quarter mile, right, is as a higher property value, right, because of BART, right? If the BART station didn't exist, well, that property would not have any value. And so a lot of these new condominiums and crap that's going up is if they're going to build them, well, then they should have to pay like a special assessment to BART, right? So, and it would be set up in a different account than the one that's actually collected in the taxes and from BART fare, right? And then we could use that for capital improvements on BART down the road when we have to buy more cars, right? Because cars are enormous capital investment, and it's not like you can like just float a bond measure, right, to make that happen, right? And because then you have to go to the time and trouble of going to a campaign and make, and if there was actually the money that was actually set up, right, and because these people are making a lot of money off of this by selling because they're popular places for people to live, right? So there should be some kind of charge on that to pay for the BART station.
You make an interesting point. I have something to be said for that.
Right, because they're making more money off it than everybody else. And this would only be like a one-time deal in new buildings around the BART, because the people that are making the money are the developers, right? And we just want a little bit more out of their profit. But then again, you go into things like the Robin Hood tax, where they want to charge 0.001 cent on each transaction that goes through the stock market, right? Because all the stock market transactions aren't taxed, right? And if there was just like a small surcharge, that doesn't have to be for an enormous amount of money, and barely you would notice it if you were trading stocks, right? And the whole financial industry is so dead set against that idea that, like, Chase and name any one of the large banks, and they're like against having that kind of a tax on the stock market. They say it's going to limit trade, and it's just just the broker fees alone. The investing in the stock market is not a really good investment these days. A lot of people say it is. The only people, the way to make people money that are making money in the stock market that I know about are people that are actually work for corporations like New Tech and stuff like that actually get paid in things like stock options, right? Like people that I know at Facebook, that's how they ended up with their money. So it didn't happen from anything else but that. At any rate, I could rant on much for a long time about capitalism, and that's what I do.
It is a very, very lengthy. It's an odyssey in itself.
Yeah, she's pretty good for a cat.
I like the Benjamin Franklin.
Sure.
Yes, I do too.
Well, thanks for talking with me.
Postmaster General. Benjamin Franklin. I didn't know that.
Just relaxing here. We got Riot Dog checking out the food. Yeah, we're gonna dig him. He's Riot Dog, and that's Riot Cat over there, folks. We got Riot Cat and Riot Dog. And they're actually kind of jealous of each other. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but whenever people start paying attention to the cat, he shows up. Yep. That's a good doggy. A little scared. And she just wants to take off.
Oh, Sada, come here.
Looking for a place to hide.
Oh, Sada. Hi, Sada.
So this woman had gone to an arts high school. She was very talented. She graduated.
Yeah, I know. It's funny, Cat's kind of freaking out, though. Cats are not real good social animals. Yeah, he's kind of, I'm looking at him, he's wild-eyed.
They did this bit where they would take from the audience three historical events, and then the acting team would act them out, in their own way, in order. So one night, she's telling Highland
The cats are more, they're more territorial.
They did this game, and then afterwards...
Okay. Hey, sorry about the sound there, folks. I have to watch you guys.
We talked about having our first public assembly sometime around 6 o'clock this evening. Well, it's like getting on towards 7, but anyway. How about if in like 10, 15 minutes we have a meeting and we talk about things like what do we expect to happen and how do we expect to deal with it? If the cops show up, what is the critical number for forming, a human chain to resist them, and below that, what do we do? But we'll talk about making it clear that people can stay and try and put up a resistance so they can leave without any fear of a negative reaction or shame or anything like that. And we can talk about food, and we can talk about the movies. Showing the movie and see if tonight's a good night to get started on doing something like that. Given the
Hey, what did you do with the joint? You smoked that joint already? Pass it back over. Give it to somebody? Yeah, well, we're not talking. I'm going to take a break from talking. That's how I tell it works, dude. So that's how I know that it's working. Yeah, the post office is closed now. It's after 6 p.m.
Post office is closed.
Just took a
Pretty good crowd.
Yeah, we still got a nice little crowd, about 20 people, 30.
It's more than that, actually. About 40 or 50 of us all together. Because around the corner as well, you know, they say.
We had a run where you just stuff I again later. Like,
Carry on.
carry on.
Nice to meet you both. Have a good night.
I just didn't feel it out.
Nice folks. It was hard to talk to. You're so tall. You're like 7 foot.
How tall is that guy?
7 foot.
He's 7.
I hate to remark about his height because I know it's, you know, just finding clothes that fit you, dude.
I'm thinking 6'8", but
Who's that for?
yeah, they live. I see them walking around. They live someplace close by.
The guy.
That's a, I like this spot better than any of the spots we picked so far.
Yeah, it seems it's pretty cool. The steps are a little grody, but
Yeah, it's a pretty happy place. Going to a birthday
I
party.
mean, around the grittiness, the new stuff is us.
yeah.
The only thing that's out here is old is gum.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
sticks and doesn't go away.
Yeah, well, there's a special thing you can use to get gum up now. I've done it, right? It's called orange peel juice, right? And it pulls up the gum. It'll pull it up out of carpeting, dude.
Yeah, I have
The U.S.
multiple
Post Office, they don't spend a lot of time on gum. They're trying to fire everybody to hell with the mail, let alone clean the place.
blanket.
It used to be the favorite skateboard.
Yeah, it's smoking over here.
Oh, that's special
Stuff.
stuff.
Oh, is there tobacco in it?
Well,
Nope.
God brought it. That's from God's stash.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I met you before.
God smokes good weed, yeah.
He does. He does.
What's your name?
My name's Gabby.
Yeah, but yeah, we're out here doing a live stream. You have anything you want to say to people out there in the world?
Free the weed.
Okay.
All right. Nina, let's do it.
Do you know the story of Racist Joe Gas?
Yeah, I met him. I don't know him, but I met him.
They were in Israel. He's the guy that was shot in the head with a tear gas round with brain damage. She was with him, and they had an intensely wild story. If you ever want to get that on him, he's a hero.
So it's a little bit of excitement.
I was wondering. I didn't know that. When I try not to look at people when they're.
Yeah, no, he's shot in the head with just like Scott Olsen going.
Yeah, how is he doing anyway?
Scott?
Yeah.
He seems fine to me, but I didn't know him well before, so I couldn't compare.
You should be able to make a full recovery. He's young.
Yeah. Tristan was pretty young when he was
Well, all I can say, bro, is I've gone through like several major physical traumas, right? And I feel like right now that I'm coming back even stronger, right? Like mentally, yeah. I met her before. Coming through mentally and physically even stronger from physical traumas. Like mentally, dude, I'm like so much more patient with the world than I used to be, right? You think I'm pepper now. All right. Yeah, thanks for providing all the food, man.
I got one, also open, I got one about, there's a labor event, March for Barca, yeah. Someplace in here,
Yeah, because I always thought about going the electric wheelchair route, and I'm really glad I didn't. And I knew that I'd be making a mistake if I got myself one of those hover around scooters, right? Yeah, I had a lot better time than I expected when I came out here today.
Yeah, my bad. Right side. You always hit him on the right side. I did. How you doing, Carl? All right. We'll hug like this now. Cool.
Well, that's pretty good. I've been on for an hour, 20 minutes without dropping the signal. So we're doing really well. Now that everything's mellowed out, there's not as many people here, right?
Did you drop it a lot during the event?
A couple times.
I mean, that event was on 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's not bad. 178 hours.
Well, yeah, and like I said, it's definitely we have to get it together with hotspots. I'm going to have to go online, and even if I have to buy one, it's just the old way to go because the bandwidth on their own 4G networks gets overloaded pretty quickly. That's been the biggest stumbling block to live streaming technology is because of there's not enough bandwidth.
Put in the problem for the using of the internet.
And also serving up the files on the other end, right? Like a company like Ustream has it's an enormous capital investment that they've outlaid so far on their live streaming network, So I kind of don't feel bad, it's even though the capitalists are providing the instrument, I don't feel bad about supporting them because if it wasn't for Ustream, a lot of the Occupy movement wouldn't exist. A lot of people wouldn't have been able to find out about it.
There's another one that was really big right at that time.
Yeah, and there's Bambuser, and there's a few other live stream network. Livestream was the other network. And but Ustream, that made them as a corporation.
Oh, just Livestream.
Yeah, there's a company called Livestream too, yeah.
Oh, I'll take a picture.
Bambuser is the other one.
That's now third.
Yeah, well, Bambuser's used by more of the Arab world, I've noticed, for their live streams. I don't like the social networking interface. Like with the one thing I do like about Ustream is that their social networking, since they're based in Silicon Valley, that they do a better job.
Did Livestream go bankrupt?
No, they're still making money.
Oh, okay.
But Livestream's user interface is kind of fucked up, and you actually have to be more of a pro videographer to use